This is the Mid-American Conference on ESPN. We speak you inside Info Shizen Stadium, the home of the Akron Zips in Akron, Ohio. Welcome, everybody, to this Thursday night opener for both squads. The Wyoming Cowboys from the Mountain West Conference come in to tangle with the Max Akron Zips. So great to see you, everybody. Delighted you're here. Michael Rugai, as always, pleased to be joined by my partner, Ryan Kavanaugh. All right, you like quarterback play? Well, these two football teams are to reach expectations this year. Both Caden Anderson, Ryan, of Wyoming, and, of course, Ben Finley of Akron. Got to be special right from the start.
Yeah, expectations are high for the Wyoming Cowboys this year, not just with their record, but for what Caden Anderson can do under center. Last year in 3 starts, he threw for 955 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's a guy I love because of the confidence and swagger that he plays with. And he's got the attitude and intangibles that makes his offense not just want to play with him, but play for him. Across the sideline, Ben Finley comes in after throwing for over 2,600 yards last year. That puts him in the minds of the pundits as one of the top 4 quarterbacks in the MAC. However, he's going to look a little bit different. He's packed on 15 pounds of muscle, and from the shoulders up, he spent a lot of time with Coach Moorhead, not just to understand the concepts, the routes, and the personnel of their offense, but the why for each and every play. And I anticipate Finley to have an improved accuracy numbers for this 2025 campaign.
As we get set to go here at Info Shizen Stadium, just an absolute Chamber of Commerce football forecast here in Northeast Ohio. About 65 degrees at kickoff time. Clouds, but we don't expect any precipitation, and we'll see if that holds up. And it doesn't, we're going to blame the weather folk, of course. That is Jay Sawville that you saw a moment ago, the head football coach of the Wyoming Cowboys. This is a return home for Jay as he played his college football with the Division III Mount Union. Ryan and I will tell you more about that as this one wears on. Wyoming going to get their hands on the football as they won that toss. They say they want the football. And for the Akron Zips, Owen Wiley to boot it away. That's Caleb Merritt who wears that number 2 in one of the deep spots. Settle back and enjoy. Game on in this season opener as Wiley's boot will go through the end zone. And let us bring out this Wyoming Cowboys offense. An offense that a year ago averaged 28 points a game. But again, head coach Jay Sawville says we want to be able to increase that and have it be something that is the bellwether of our football team, and that means Caden Anderson, Ryan, who quarterbacks his squad.
Yeah, started 3 games last year, and what a performance he had in those games. Now this is his team. The keys to the car are in the hands of Caden Anderson. He's got some weapons around him. Sam
Scott is offense, and they're going to run that jet sweep early on. And Akron will come up and knock that down as that's a strong hit from Cottrell White. And after Chris Durr took that handoff, White buried him for a gain of just 1. And head coach of the Akron Zips, Joe Moore, very excited about White.
That was exactly how you play a stretch run to the end as a cornerback.
2nd and 9 now after White got belted down, or excuse me, after Scott got belted down by Cottrell White. 2nd and 9. Go back to that power off tackle game and running the football again for Wyoming is Sam Scott. He's a 230-pound senior. They feel he's very improved from 2024, Ryan.
Yeah, and he was their leading returning rusher. They're giving it to him early. Nice play defensively coming off the edge for Akron.
Right away, just now it'll be 3 snaps in. Wyoming faced with their first 3rd down of the night. 3rd and 5 for quarterback Caden Anderson, who wants to put it up. Crossing route. That is hauled in close to the line to make. Making that catch was Bryson Brantley. And are they going to move the sticks, or are they going to say that's short? Right now, they're saying that Matt Pikowski, the referee, says that's short. 4th and about a half-yard. Decision right away for Jay Sawville.
Well, usually at this stage of the game, Michael, you don't want to make that decision from inside your own 35-yard line. Not ideal, but the offense is staying on the field.
Right, the line to make is the 35. So about 4th and a half-yard for quarterback Caden Anderson. He's got Sam Scott now offset. This is Scott. First down and more. Got to the 40, needed a half-yard, got 5 before he got belted down. That Akron hit out of the secondary came from DeMarco Johnson, the 5th-year senior. Wyoming going quickly. Anderson will trigger the out, and that is hauled in. So that throw is caught. That's Jackson Holman who made the grab on that hookup with Caden Anderson. Give them about 7 on that completion. We'll call it 2nd down and 3.
And I think this is the first time this evening we've seen Wyoming actually get into a huddle before calling their snap. They're moving very fast in regard to getting to the line and then deciding what they want to do, but they're keeping the Akron defense where they are, and they hope to wear them down with this strategy.
First possession of the football game for Caden Anderson. Anderson off that inside play fake and kept the football. Maybe got a couple.
Nice play by Julian LaVenture, reading it, coming down the line of scrimmage and shutting down Caden Anderson on the zone read.
LaVenture is up to 285 pounds, by the way, starting inside in this 3-4 Akron defensive alignment. 3rd down, and we'll call it 3. The line to make right at the midfield stripe for Caden Anderson, the sophomore quarterback of Wyoming. He'll trigger that football quickly. That is caught. 1st down and a whole lot more. Getting to the corner before he's pushed out of bounds, as Anderson was able to hook up with Chris Durr. He's a 175-pound sophomore out of Chicago.
He's 170 pounds of dynamite when he gets the football in his hands. He's extremely fast. Picks up 17 there, and you can see, Michael, if you're Akron's defense, you need to quickly adjust to the explosiveness and the speed of Chris Durr, because he almost housed that.
Another hit for DeMarco Johnson out of that Akron secondary. Now that quick throw again, as Anderson will complete, but virtually for no gain. He hit Chris Durr again, but Durr was greeted right away as Cade Summers made that hit. 5th-year senior, Ryan, about a 230-pound Mike linebacker.
Well, listen to what Summers did last year, Michael. He played the last 2 games against Kent State. Kent State was his first full game. The last game of the season, he recorded 19 tackles against Toledo. So the expectations for Gage Summers in this Akron Zips defense is very high.
That's 2nd and 10. Anderson getting rid of the football quickly. That throw is hauled in. But look at Akron's pursuit out of the secondary. That throw was caught by Sam Scott, but he got knocked down right away. And down for Akron after making that hit is Catrell White. It's a 3rd time White here in this first Wyoming possession has been in on a hit. All right, while White is being attended to, we'll take our first time out. Wyoming got the football first. They're on the move. Still scoreless when we get back. There's a good look at a man that's so familiar with Northeast Ohio. That's Jay Sawville, the head football coach of the Wyoming Cowboys. Hey, he's a Mount Union Purple Raider. Ryan Cavanaugh played for the legendary Larry Karras back in the day in Alliance.
And what a delightful conversation we had with Coach Sawville this week. We discussed what he learned from Elkay, what he carries on from the great Larry Karras, and what a player he was in his own right. 3-year letter winner, all-conference linebacker. And he says, look, Mount Union may have 740 national championships, but I had the first one. So
right.
Whatever happened after that, I got the national championship.
One of the leading tacklers for the Purple Raiders during his playing time. Anderson on 3rd and short. With time, going to fire deep. And he threw it over the head of his intended receiver. That's John Michael Gillenborg. Gillenborg, big tight end, weighs about 255 pounds. And they say he's very gifted after he makes catches and has improved as a blocker. So we'll keep an eye out on him tonight.
Well, he's on all the watch lists this year for the tight end position, and he did a good job of readjusting his route and showing that those big shoulder pads, the big numbers to Caden Anderson, and Anderson just let it float on him a little bit, and the punt team comes out.
Bart Edmiston is the Wyoming punter. He's going to hang that high. Wyoming trying to put that down. Were they able to? I don't think so. It looked like, yep. The momentum from the Wyoming punt cover team carried them into the end zone as punter Edmiston tried to put it down inside the 37-yard punt. Time to take our first look at this 2025 season at the young quarterback who's got everybody excited here, Ben Finley. I say young, but he is a 5th-year senior. He's played at Cal and NC State before making his way to Akron.
Yeah, and he's found a home here. As I mentioned in the open, Michael, 54% completion percentage. Obviously, that's a number you want to improve on, and I expect Finley to do that this year.
That first handoff, Wyoming's D got all over that. That's Sean Patrick, who redshirted a year ago, young man for locally. Played his high school football at the Strong Kenston program in Chagrin Falls, Ohio. We'll give Patrick 1, 2nd and 9.
This is going to be an interesting running back room, and who carries the ball for Akron. They have a lot of new faces, not a lot of carries from last year, and Patrick is a guy that Moorhead wants to rely on.
Finley's first throw, he'll find Patrick. Good cut. Well, Ben Finley got that football out on time, and he found Sean Patrick, that redshirt freshman. Moved that football to the 39-yard line, and that's a first down now on Ben Finley's first throw of the night.
Yeah, it makes me feel good when I say Moorhead wants to rely on Sean Patrick, and he throws it to him for a chunk play.
Yeah.
You see that agility and explosiveness as Sean Patrick moves back left of Finley.
Going to go with more two-back this year. Now this first down call is going to go to Sean Patrick again. Let's give Patrick a couple. We'll call it 2nd down and N8. This Wyoming defense, Ryan, a year ago gave up over 28 points a game. And of course, as Jay Sawville was saying, you know, every unit, offense, defense, special teams, we can be better, and we got to be better than we were in 2024. Finley, a lot of time. Finley will throw that out. That is caught at the 25-yard line, but then dropping the football. They're going to call that incomplete. Alex Adams, one of the top receivers in the Mid-American Conference, looked like he had that football, Ryan, but he didn't put it away.
But you look at the composure, and Finley throws an absolute dime to Alex Adams, who struggles with it, is never able to pull it in before it's knocked out of his hands.
It's Dion DeBlanc on that hit. So now 3rd down and 8. The line to make is at the 49-yard line for Ben Finley, the 5th-year senior out of Phoenix, Arizona, quarterbacking Joe Moorhead's squad. Finley going to loft that throw middle, had a little bit too much on it. Incomplete, intended was intended for Sean Patrick. So when they ran 4 plays, and Sean Patrick had a part in all 4 of them.
Yeah, they tried to sneak it. Well, they did sneak him out of the backfield right up the middle. And Coach Moorhead is known as an innovative play caller and, more importantly, play designer. And the play where they almost had Alex Adams, well, they had him. He just wasn't able to bring it in. Was perfectly designed. They brought 2 across from one way, and Adams against the wash, and he freed up. And that was a perfect pass by Ben Finley.
Now, Joseph Castle, the Akron punter, to hang that high. And that fair catch at the 17-yard line, handled by Dion DeBlanc. All right, timeout. Nothing on the board yet. About halfway through this opening quarter. Wyoming and Akron scoreless. Nothing on the board yet here in the season opener for both Wyoming for the Mountain West Conference and the Mid-American Conference's Akron Zips. Michael Rega, Ryan Kavanaugh. There's a familiar face. Grew up here in Revere, Ohio, and very close to the city of Akron. Larry Nance Jr., of course, a Wyoming Cowboy in the collegiate days.
Everybody in the stadium has some connection to Larry Nance Jr.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Heck of a basketball player, first-round draft pick. Of course, his father is a legend here in the greater Cleveland area.
And with good cause. Larry Nance Sr., one of the top front court players in the NBA. Good to see Larry Nance Jr. Here, even though, again, he's a Wyoming Cowboy, so he's repping the gear of the squad he played college hoops for. The Wyoming, with their second possession, going to run the football, and that's a real good cut once again by Sam Scott. Scott got leveled as he got near picking up that first down on the first down carry.
And Malcolm DeWalt came up and took Scott up to the second level before unceremoniously putting him down to the turf. Look at those numbers for Caden Anderson. 5 of 6, 28 yards. Very efficient, and he's doing a really nice job of taking what the defense gives him.
And check downs right away, right now.
That's right.
Yeah. But he moved the football. His squad moved the football on their opening drive before it short-circuited. Got 9 there on 2nd down and 1 for Caden Anderson. Back to the ground game. That's a first down and a whole lot more. Maybe a big play saving tackle as Sam Scott got tripped up out of that Akron secondary by Elijah Reed.
Well, we got Jack Walsh, Caden Barnett, Wes King. That's center guard creating some real big running lanes. And Sam Scott runs with his eyes, cuts back, and was one Akron defender away. Elijah Reed from a touchdown.
Yeah, big running back at 230 pounds. Now Scott offset. Anderson going to put it up. Going to loft it deep. It was caught, but it was caught out of bounds. He found his wide receiver, Jackson Holman, who did make the grab, but as you saw, he came down on that white boundary and out of bounds.
Yeah, Holman had the defender beat. Anderson underthrew it, which is hard to tell if that's by design anymore in today's college football,
Right,
Michael, because of that back shoulder fade. Extremely difficult for a defensive back to cover. And as Holman came back, didn't have enough real estate to keep his feet in bounds.
2nd and 10 off that play fake. Getting rid of the football quickly is Anderson. He dealt that strike and put it on his wide receiver. Making that catch for, check that. Was that, yeah, that was Charlie Conan. To be honest with you, he is not on our 3 deep. So Charlie Conan wearing number 19 now. Wide receiver for Wyoming. This is 3rd down and 4. Back to the ground game. Picking up that 1st down. It's a strong run. Got some good blocks. Did Sam Scott. Like that left guard, Ryan, Wes King, the 315-pound junior out of Wisconsin, gave him a good block in open space.
Appleton, Wisconsin has produced some outstanding offensive linemen, road graders.
Anderson will get rid of the football quickly, and making that excellent grab was John Michael Gillenborg.
30 receptions last year, 425 yards, and that was his first of many in 2025. He's a guy in the game plan, in the game sheet that Coach Sawville and, of course, offensive coordinator Jay Johnson needs to figure out how do we get him his touches throughout a game.
He needs them, right? He's a 250-pounder that can move with the rock, as you saw right there after he made the grab. Play action. Anderson tried to dump down and find Gillenborg again, and it was off his hands. Going to bring up 2nd down now.
Yeah, I think that ball was a little misdirected. It was thrown behind John Mike Gillenborg. He wasn't able to bring it in.
Let me check that. Let's make that 3rd down now as that down box moves. So Caden Anderson, the 230-pound sophomore quarterback, going to go with a 1 back here. The line to make is run at the 40-yard line, so they need a couple. To the ground game. Oh, I don't know. Oh, he didn't get there. Look at Akron, the blue shirts all over that. As coming up with that Akron hit out of that defensive end spot, Ryan, was Cam Cheatham, young man from Pittsburgh who wears number 22.
A lot of crack, and Wyoming brought in 2 tight ends, going heavy and unable to get the yardage. And for the 2nd time, a Wyoming drive that looked like it has promise has stalled. And the punt team is back on the field. That's Bart Edmondson.
So Edmondson to hit it away. And in that solo deep spot for Akron is Roderick Hunter. And Hunter is going to come up and make that fair catch at the 17-yard line. 2nd opportunity for Ben Finley. There are a couple of number 13, so we'll take that back on that fair catch for the Akron Zips was Sean Patrick. We'll be right back, still scoreless. Good to see the AK Rowdies out in great spirit to begin this 25 football season. Wyoming was 6 plays already in Akron territory against that man, Joe Moorhead, the head football coach of the Akron Zips. Really done a solid job in taking over this program and turning it around. 35-40. He tells us brand new Akron Zips. We got to put the pads on this year. Now this first down carry for Akron on this second series, but Sean Patrick's already had a whole lot of work. Ryan Cavanaugh, he's really about the only Zip offensively besides quarterback Ben Finley that's touched the football.
Yeah, well, they just put in number 3, Kyan Mason, who is a redshirt freshman, and Miles Walker, number 1. Those are slot guys who are real big playmakers. We'll see if Finley can spread it around.
Finley went middle, and that pass was almost picked off as getting his hands on it defensively. Will linebacker Braden Johnson, young man's from a very small town. You ever heard of Ringling, Oklahoma, Ryan Cavanaugh?
I'm gonna have to be honest. I've never heard of that city, Michael.
Nor did I before we were talking to head coach Jay Sawvell about it. Only 32 players were on his high school football team in Ringling. Crossing route. Finley's put that on his wide receiver running that cross and able to make that catch for that's Sean Patrick again. Patrick came out of the slot to make that grab. So again, I mean, Patrick is well, evidently he and Ben Finley have got a thing, a communication thing, because Finley has been calling his number now through the beginning of the second series. Now off that play action, going to run a reverse. Wyoming, not fooled defensively by it, is on that Akron carry, on that reverse for the Zips. That looked to be Michael Johnson. And Michael Johnson is listed as a backup quarterback on his football team.
Michael, I thought he was looking to throw the football as he came around, so that would make sense. And nothing was going there but a little attempted trickery by Joe Moorhead.
Now motion again. And this is Michael Johnson, who took that direct snap. He got punished at the 43-yard line. Michael Johnson is a 6'3", 220-pound fifth-year senior. Ryan, out of San Jose, California. He started his career at Penn State. Also played at Florida Atlantic and also played at Syracuse. So Akron's his 4th program.
Which would be uncommon if it wasn't 2025.
Right, exactly.
Right?
No, we're going back to our day. No, you'd never see that.
No, well, you'd have to sit out.
Well, yeah.
You'd be sitting out every other year.
Exactly, yeah.
That was Tice Westland on the tackle. He's a standout for this
Finley
defense.
looked off that throw and threw it behind his intended receiver, Jean-Louis. Jean-Louis is a 5'8" redshirt sophomore. Well, let me check that. Numbers, was that Kyan Mason? Was it? All right. Let me correct myself. That throw was intended for the young man from Cleveland, Kyan Mason, who's wearing number 3.
And they're going to need to get it to their playmakers. Again, I said Miles Walker and Kyan Mason, they generally play in the slot, but they're game breakers.
Second down at 10 now. Going to go this inside handoff. Jordan Gant tried to find a little bit of breathing room. Gant averaged about 3.5 yards a carry last year. Now, again, Ryan Cavanaugh, head coach Joe Moorhead told us he believes that Jordan Gant, who had that carry, can be a very high-level Mid-American Conference running back. He was a freshman All-American in the FCS level.
Yeah, transferred in from Tennessee State, and there's a lot of things that Coach Moorhead likes about him.
We're down to 30 seconds in this scoreless opening quarter. Look out, Finley. He got belted down. Coming up to make that hit for Wyoming. That was Lucas Samsula. Also got some help from Chizen Ifeini. That's Ifeini, who wears number 52 Sansula had the first pressure.
Beautiful pass rush around the left offensive tackle by Sansula. Ben Finley, it's one of those things, Michael, when you're a quarterback, you think but then the window closes so fast you can't get rid of the football. And that's what happened to Ben Finley.
15 minutes of football in the books. Nobody on the board point-wise yet. Wyoming, Akron scoreless. Don't go away. Second quarter coming up next on ESPN. Scoreless first quarter here at Infocision Stadium as the homestanding Akron Zips from the Mid-American Conference tangle in with the Wyoming Cowboys out of the Mountain West. All right, here's what's coming up on ESPN Plus on Saturday. The Kent State Golden Flashes will host Merrimack Holy Cross. We'll move into the DeKalb, Illinois against Northern Illinois, and Temple and UMass. Noon, first one, other two, 3:30. All of them here on ESPN Plus. All right, Akron to boot the football away and hitting that from the 30-yard line. Not really getting it to turn over well, but how about that tail drag? And the football's going to come to rest at the 12-yard line. All right, we'll tell you all about Caden Anderson again as he'll start his third possession with this Wyoming offense when we get back here early, second quarter, scoreless in Akron. Nothing on the board yet is Wyoming and Akron tangle in this season opener. Make sure you get all of ESPN college football in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan. You can log in with your TV provider. Michael Regai, my partner Ryan Kavanaugh, our producer Adam Meyer, our director Mike Bacon, all of our terrific ESPN crew. Hope you're enjoying this. Both teams have moved the football a little bit, but no points on the board here through the first 15 minutes and 15 seconds. And starting from the 11-yard line is Caden Anderson. And Wyoming, this first down run game call is going to net Wyoming and their outstanding running back Sam Scott 9 and bring up second and short. So Wyoming behind this very big and they're able to move two offensive line. We'll tell you about them in a moment, but they feel good. Both their offensive coordinator Jay Johnson and head coach Jay Sawville about their ability to run the football. That spot gave them a first down. Pressure coming. Anderson's throw incomplete. Anderson was having heat put on him from behind as in on that burst against Anderson came from the outside, Ryan.
Yeah, you see him chasing him down from the back. He's trying to get it to John Michael Gillenborg, but rolling to his left as a right-handed quarterback had to get rid of the football before he wanted it. It was Julian LaVenture chasing him, tracking him down from the back.
Yeah, LaVenture's a good one. 275-pound redshirt junior.
This is a nice play defensively as
Akron
well.
Again, they are really good getting after the football, aren't they? Scott was run down there. Is in on that Akron hit was Cyrus Durham, a young man who captain of the squad and came in from San Mateo JC.
Someone's got to stop telling Cyrus Durham to play because he was on top of him as soon as he had the handoff. And after a really nice first down run by Sam Scott, Wyoming third and behind the chains.
Yeah, third down at 13. That line to make is all the way up at the 32-yard line after Cyrus Durham's hit and takedown. Anderson on 3rd and 13. Got away from pressure, but going to be at least 5 yards short. And you know, in the college game, where that ball carrier starts his dive, if he's going to lay out, is where the ball is spotted. So it's going to be 4th down and a good 7 for Wyoming.
Well, Akron brought a corner blitz, and that's what flushed Caden Anderson out of the pocket. Wyoming wasn't able to pick it up. And for the first time, Wyoming is punting deep from their end. So we talked about that last punt, Michael, before the end of the quarter, and it flipped the field. So now Akron could be looking at and should be looking at the best field position, starting field position they've had this game.
Yeah, let's see how well Bart Edmiston, the Wyoming punter, hits this. There's going to be a delay of game against Wyoming.
Yep. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
And Michael, I think that was by design. You know, it was 4th and 5. Coach Sawville trying to steal one, a first down, maintain possession. The Akron defensive front didn't bite, and now Edmiston is going to be punting with his feet on the 6-yard line.
And it's Sean Patrick back in that deep spot and not hit real well. Oh, the tail drag helps a little bit for Edmiston on that punt, but good field position for the Akron Zips. They'll start at their 45-yard line. We're scoreless when we get you back to Infocision Stadium.
the challenge for Ben is understanding when things are going well, not to press, and where things are going poorly, not to try to make up for the last play on the next play. So keeping it steady. I know we talk about in the quarterback meeting room. Don't predetermine. It is as good as it looks, and allow your read to dictate your decision. And he's done a really nice job kind of getting off the peaks and valleys and keeping a much more steady approach.
Now, there's a man that knows his quarterbacks. Offensive coordinator at Penn State, offensive coordinator at Oregon, worked extensively with quarterbacks in his assistant coaching years on the resume, Joe Moorhead. He likes Ben Finley.
If they had you could get college courses on playing the quarterback position,
yeah,
he'd be your professor.
No doubt. Finley tried to backhand. That's going to go as an incomplete pass. He tried to backhand that shovel pass. He was looking at, guess who? Sean Patrick. But it fell incomplete. So that goes as an incomplete pass to bring up second down.
What's more impressive about this, Michael, that that Coach Moorhead was National Offensive Coordinator of the Year twice at Penn State, or that there's 5 different programs where he's won a championship where he called plays?
Equal. Listen, Joe Moorhead is one of my favorite guys on the offensive side of the ball in all of college football. Finley's going to take a deep shot. Put a lot of air under it. That throw came from the left hash, Ryan, all the way over inside the numbers on the right sideline as he was looking to find Tim Greer.
Yeah, he had Alex Adams clearing out and a bit of a wheel route for Tim Greer, and the ball landed softly in between both of those receivers. But I believe you're right, Michael. He wanted to get it. I just don't think there was enough arm talent, arm strength on the throw to get it out where Greer was running at the tail end of that wheel.
Agreed. Brings up a third down now and 10. That line to make is at the 44 of Wyoming. Pressure coming, and that throw is going to fall incomplete. Well, on that pressure from the defensive side, very quickly for the Wyoming Cowboys was they got there. That was Justin Taylor. That was he's a free safety, Ryan. They had him up around the line of scrimmage and coming up hard.
Well, when you blitz 2 and there's only one back to pick up the blitz, someone's going to get home. Finley identified it, knew he did not have time to comfortably step in the throw, and threw it in a position where either his receiver would get it or it would be incomplete. It was obviously the latter.
Good field position for the Zips, but it goes by the wayside as they're going to have to punt the football away. And trying to hang that high, really didn't get to turn over as well as Akron punter Braden Johnson would have liked. All right, another possession now for Wyoming. Cowboys will have it. Early second quarter, we're still scoreless. Wyoming and Akron. Akron Zips, Wyoming Cowboys. Akron defensively, they've been flying around, Ryan Cavanaugh, and making big-time hits early in play development.
Yeah, both teams have played physical, and when we look at the scoreboard right now, Michael, it's 0-0. We're 18 minutes into the game, but that last offensive possession by Akron was the first 3 and out of the football game. So offenses, while moving the football, the defenses, the physical defenses you just mentioned, are really stepping up.
A lot of time for Caden Anderson. That crossing route almost got picked off. Well, how about the break on the football, Ryan, from Malcolm DeWalt IV, young man from the state of Washington, transferred into this Akron program.
He has made a couple big hits here, and that was a bit of a dangerous pass. There was another zip in the area. Ball got deflected in the air, but Coach Sawville, offense coordinator Jay Johnson, being aggressive downfield.
No question, Caden Anderson's got that big arm. Arm strength, certainly not an issue. They go back to the ground game there, and that's Sam Scott, the 227-pounder on the carry. And I don't think if you're head coach of the Akron Zips, Joe Moorhead, I don't think you could be any more pleased than what you've gotten defensively so far in the first 19 minutes of this football game.
Yeah, and I've got a comment for you after this very important third down on the defense of this year and what the expectations and hope was.
Absolutely. This is 3rd and 8. Anderson got to step up. Anderson with a dive. He got to those sticks and beyond. So keeping the football. That's Caden Anderson, young man from South Lake, Texas. Doesn't run it a lot, but there used a lot of moxie in pulling that down.
Well, that's a big-time high school program down in Texas that he comes from, too. This is just great awareness. Where are the sticks? Where do I need to be? Diving forward and getting it. And now, this is old school, going under center, Michael.
Yep. Don't do this often. The one back is Sam Scott, 7 yards behind quarterback Caden Anderson. And this is Scott. Tried to bounce it off that right side, give him 3. Akron got on that again. That Zips hit, a big part of it came from Justin Anderson.
They're staying right up, going fast here.
That pass is batted down and almost picked off. Akron had that dive trying to pick that football off after it was broken up. What was that? Was that Gage Summers that had his hands on it?
I think it was Cam Cheatham, Michael, coming off that defensive end.
Yeah, you're right, Cam Cheatham.
It's hard, 22-23 with these numbers, man. I mean, I do not envy your job, my friend.
Yeah, well, you know, that's why you got to make sure the vision stays as sharp as possible here in the latter years.
I saw you eating those carrots.
3rd down and 8. That's a drop. As trying to get that out quickly was Caden Anderson. Not able to haul that in was Bryson Brantley, a sophomore wide receiver out of Houston, Texas. Akron's going to get it back again.
To finish my earlier comment before the first down scramble by Caden Anderson, this is an Akron Zip defense that a lot of people had question marks on because of the number of players that either graduated or went into the portal. You'll remember Brian McCoy and Tavius Fish, their starting linebackers.
Right.
Almost all of their defensive line production either graduated or got in the portal, and what we're seeing here is they've got a lot of young guys, hungry guys, that are playing physical and playing very well on that defensive front.
Absolutely. That football is going to get downed at the 39-yard line. We got a flag on that, so let's keep it right here. Our white hat today, our game referee, Matt Pakowski.
Oh, they're going to get running into?
Now that could take away what appears to be right now excellent field position.
Running into the kicker on the return team. 5-yard penalty. We had on the other kick. The first out. Excuse me.
That's not going to be a first down. right? That's going to still.
It's declined.
It's still going to be 4th down. Because the 5-yard penalty not enough to move the sticks. So
I think they declined it.
Wyoming, yeah, sure, going to decline that and make Akron with the football. Joe Moorhead and his offense start from their own 38-yard line. Now again, the 5-yard penalty, that was a 4th down and 9. So the 5-yard penalty not enough to move the chains. Well, back the offense comes for Joe Moorhead's Akron Zips. Ben Finley, this 5th-year senior that has played at both Cal and NC State in the FBS. Look at the throw. Ran that wheel route, put it on time. Excellent move to cut away from that. Again, was guess who? Well, Sean Patrick, I don't know. He got a mojo with Joe Moorhead calling these offensive plays.
Oh, he's got some wiggle and he's got more strength than you would expect out of a 5'11", 180-pounder. But Sean Patrick has been the difference maker for either team from the offensive perspective.
Ryan and I both saw him play in high school, young man from the Cleveland area. Now that out route going to fall incomplete. Trying to back shoulder that was Ben Finley as he was looking for tight end Connor Kravik. Yeah, so again,
yeah, Sean Patrick, to finish that, is he may be coming out, but he is such a dynamic player out of the backfield, and you see the hands and able to make plays. And Akron's looking for who is the bell cow, who's going to be their main runner, and thus far, they have their answer with Sean Patrick.
Now with a couple of backs, going to keep the football on the ground, and that's Jordan Gant on the carry. And let's check that. It was Marquise Williams, a young man who transferred into the Akron program out of Minnesota. Very limited play a year ago, only had 6 carries a season ago.
Sometimes in week 1, you're sprinkling the ball around. You're going to see several people carry it, and what those running backs do with those opportunities generally decides how much work they get the next week and for the rest of the season.
Sure. Right, line to make at the 37-yard line, 3rd down. Going to stay on the ground. Going to be short of that 1st down is running back Jordan Gant. Gant is a 205-pound redshirt junior out of Lakeland, Florida. Strong in the FCS program, Ryan, at Tennessee State before he got to Akron.
Yeah, excellent career there. And you saw
freshman All-American, right?
Yeah, 4th and a 3 here, and Akron keeping their offense on the field.
Joe Moorhead letting Ben Finley know, trust you to move the sticks. Finley will quick trigger. They're not going to get there. Not going to get there. Finley delivered that throw and connected with Israel Polk, but big stop from the defense of the Wyoming Cowboys. Is that coming up on that hit for Wyoming was their nickelback Desmond Hearns, sophomore out of Clearwater, Florida. So stop on downs for head coach Jay Sawvell and the Wyoming Cowboys.
They needed 3 or 4. They were a couple yards short. And that's Hearns just getting to the football and then securing the receiver and bringing him down to the turf.
Defense is dominating so far, Ryan, through a quarter and a half. But I'm confident in saying that at some point, one of these offenses, if not both, are going to get in the end zone today.
It might take overtime, but one of them will.
You're not as confident as I am then. Caden Anderson will deliver that quick out. It's hauled in, making that catch for Wyoming. Making that grab was one of the wide receivers, Michael Fitzgerald. And hit and tackled right away on that Zips hit, Malcolm DeWalt.
Eligible downfield offense, number 79.
Flag came down. Be honest, didn't see it when it happened. But that's going to cost Wyoming as White hat game referee Matt Pikowski moving the Wyoming Cowboys back.
Yeah, they got the center, Jack Walsh. He started at guard last year. One of their tackles, Caden Barnett, started at tackle. So they have a lot of experience, just a couple guys in different positions.
Yeah, they shuffled the deck on that O-line. Anderson got flushed out. Made a nice move to keep that play alive, but his throw running out of green. That throw was intended for Jackson Holman. Incomplete. Going to bring up second down now. Second down and 15 as this Wyoming drive starts.
Take a look at the pressure up the middle here, Michael. That's LaVenture again, number one, who got a hand on Anderson, twisted him around.
He's been very active in the early going for Akron defensively.
Really good pass rusher. 6'1", 270, moves like he's 2 1/4.
Julian LaVenture. Anderson. Quick triggers. Put that throw on time. Strong move, making that grab, and with a lot after it, that's Chris Durr. He finally got run down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Durr is he's slight, only about 170 pounds, but you can see him. And what did head coach and offense Jay Sawville tell us? He is dynamic out of the slot. 49 yards dynamic there.
Excellent play design to get Durr into the open field. Nickelback Alex Branch came up, wasn't able to bring him down, and then it is off to the races if number 3 for Wyoming has the football in his hands. 13 rather. 3 is the other speed merchant. They've got a couple of them.
Boy, back to the ground game, and Akron, that's going to that is probably going to be a horse collar flag that was thrown.
Yeah, I think they're going to get
carry came from Sam Scott. Oh, they got a face mask instead. All right.
Half distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's Bruno Dahl coming from. Look at him. He just reaches out as he's being blocked. Certainly yanked him back. He was going up against Rex Johnson, the defensive end, and Bruno Dahl, by way of Hamburg, Germany, to Akron, Ohio.
So Wyoming, after that explosive play connection from Caden Anderson to receiver Chris Durr, now in the red zone of the Akron Zips here. Just past the midway point of quarter number 2, so Wyoming's going to start this now. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for their big arm sophomore quarterback for that man, Jay Sawville. Again, if you just joined us, played his college football right down the road. The legendary Larry Karras and the Mount Union Purple Raiders back in the early 90s. First down throw, fire into the end zone. It was broken up. Well, Caden Anderson had that throw that was intended for Chris Durr and had that broken up. Strong play out of the Akron secondary. I think that was DeMarco Johnson.
Sure was. Yeah, trying to get it to Durr. Johnson did a nice job of getting his hand in there and deflecting the football. You look at those passing yards. Anderson trying to get Wyoming to the century mark. Ben Finley only 45 through a quarter and a half.
4 receivers in this tight formation. Going to go to the ground game. A big hit coming off that corner from the Akron Zips is making that stop for Akron. It was Justin Anderson. Anderson plays that boundary. Made 8 starts a year ago, and as you can see, he's a real good hitter. Third down and goal now for this Wyoming offense. 49 yards of pass offense. It all came on that throw to Chris Durr. Anderson will loft to the end zone and complete. It looked like he had separation as he was looking to hit once again. Chris Durr, there's Durr the junior, out of Chicago. Field goal team time now for head coach Jay Sawvell. This will be from 26 yards from the right hash mark. Is that, yeah, Eric Sandvik. Where's that number 47? Sandvik, this will be again from 26 yards away, and he will split the uprights. So it's Wyoming that puts the first numbers on the board. Give them 3 for the Wyoming Cowboys. All right. Akron to try to respond. Still a lot of time left in quarter number 2. As you take a look again at Jay Sawvell. Again, he played for Mount Union, Ryan, and legendary head coach Larry Karras from 1989 to 1993. And as we talked to him this week, he just so many fond memories and so many tremendous things to say about Larry Karras and the Mount Union Purple Raiders program.
Well, he follows the mantra that Larry Karras has been famous for, which is players formation, then plays. And there's so many people in that coaching tree from Mount Union, from Larry Karras. And we talked about how close in proximity Alliance, Ohio, where the Purple Raiders play their college football is, and where we're at here in Akron. And he said he's got about 70 to 100 friends and family, probably old teammates, that are here today to watch his Wyoming Cowboys perform. And his quote, he talked about it and said, you know, every game's special, but I can talk to them after the game. First, I got to get a W.
That talk after the game is right.
One note, Michael, and that I'll finish it after this kickoff here.
Well, looking for that return, and Akron is going to come out from a yard deep in the end zone. Solid return for the Akron Zips. As on that return for Akron is Terrence Thomas. Thomas plays on the defensive side of the ball, a 5'9", 190-pound junior.
Michael, the last third down with the terrific tackle by Justin Anderson in the backfield for Wyoming was Sam Tote Harris, a true freshman that has a lot of potential. We expected to see him, and it's not surprising at over 230 pounds as a running back. They put him in the red zone. But we'll see if they go back to Harris. Oh, boy.
Again, trying to battle his way off a couple of hits. That's a strong 8-yard run as continuing the big play guy for these Akron Zips. Are certainly with a lot of touches, Sean Patrick. I have 1,180-pounder is Patrick. Give him 6. We'll call it second down and short 4. As Akron has to move the football here. Off that play fake, getting rid of it quickly. Quarterback Ben Finley, but that is a terrific hit and takedown. Finley completed his pass as he's able to connect with Connor Kravik. But up out of that secondary for the Wyoming Cowboys, making that hit was that Andrew Johnson. Yeah, strong safety came up and made that stop. So Johnson, who wears number 3.
We got Michael Johnson in at quarterback, Michael. This is the second time we've seen him under center. We also saw him at the wide receiver position.
We're going to take that direct snap and run the football. First down and more, so they went to Michael Johnson, but Johnson said, I'm almost going to wind up giving it to Sean Patrick. And Patrick will move the sticks. Strong run by Patrick as Ben Finley comes right back on the football field for the Zips to quarterback and take this snap.
Another 12-yard carry for Sean Patrick.
Moving clock as we're heading toward 3 minutes left in quarter number 2 in this opening half. Wyoming got that short field goal to put the first points of the game up in their last possession. Jordan Gant on the carry. Gant might have got 5 up to the midfield strike. And again, Jordan Gant, there's Gant, a good look at him. He's a 205-pounder, and the offensive staff, along course with head coach Joe Moorhead, Ryan, they feel he can be a high-level Mid-American Conference running back for him.
That was a nice run. He had to navigate through several Cowboy defenders. Staying in the game, they're going to go 2-back, and Marquise Williams looks to be sidecar right for Finley.
Finley coming middle, and that throw was caught by Finley. He went through about 4 reads looking over that defense. Miles Walker made the grab. There's a look at Miles Walker. His first catch tonight, 5th-year senior, transferred into the Akron program. For this season of offensive football under Joe Moorhead. All right, 2 minutes left in this opening half, and we'll get this this timeout.
Media timeout.
Wyoming with the 3-0 lead over the Akron Zips. Akron moving the football, trying to get their first points of the evening in this 2025 season. Don't go away. We'll get you right back to Infocision Stadium. Joe Moorhead and the Akron Zips look to get that young man back quickly as possible. That's 250-pound tight end Jake Newell, a redshirt junior. Newell with the 35 receptions with a couple of touchdowns. Not going tonight, but they expect him to be back within the next couple of weeks.
Really nice looking tight end for the Zips.
So Michael Johnson continuing at the quarterback spot. It's a straight QB run. Johnson got to the edge and is going to get pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So Johnson got about 5 as Akron continues on this drive. Touchdown to give them a lead here in this first half, as they certainly now are in potential scoring territory from the 32-yard line. Ben Finley's back in the football game, so they gave Michael Johnson, that straight carry off the direct snap. Ball back to the ground game. Not much there as Wyoming defensively did a real nice job getting off the football and getting after that. That looked like it was Evan Eller, Mike linebacker, wears number 6. Redshirted a year ago, came from VMI, the military academy, Ryan, where he was a captain. All right, third down, we'll call it 5. That line to make is at the 27 of Wyoming. Pressure coming. That quick throw is hauled in. Going to be real close depending on the spot. Sean Patrick made the grab coming out of the backfield as he and quarterback Ben Finley continue their connection. Why are they going to spot that? They needed to get to the 27 to move the sticks for a first down. It's at the 27. But they've not moved the sticks. Now they're going to take a look at it further. Ryan, I was about to say, white hat game official Matt Pekowski got to take a further look at that.
Yeah, they're going to give him the first. I thought we might get it in the replay, but the side judge on the Akron sideline where Sean Patrick came out was motioning to move the chains.
The field on the first down is under review.
Now they're going to look at it.
Which is interesting because they moved the chains already.
Yep. It's week 1, baby. I'll just leave it right there.
Well, what's important now as we look into the huddle here and take a look at Coach Moorhead looking at his play sheet is the importance of Akron to come away with 3 points. So ball security has to be preeminent, but they don't want 3. I have a feeling they're looking for 7.
Yeah, I would say so. Again, as Ryan and I were telling you a little bit earlier in this quarter, Joe Moorhead, as we go back and take a look at this, as Patrick gets belted out of bounds. So we'll see. They got the down box right now at first down from the 27-yard line of Wyoming. We'll see if this continues to stand.
Oh, but the near side's now turning. They're turning it to 4th, and the chains on the far side, we could get that, are moving them back.
So it could be 4th and about a half yard, correct?
That's what I think we're about to see.
Yep. Looks like that's going to be the call.
The runner stepped out of bounds at the 27.5-yard line. The line to gain is a 27. Be 4th down.
That's our white hat game referee, Matt Pekowski. You heard him. He said Akron stepped out of bounds at the 27.5, so they literally need a half yard here. It's 4th down, and it's Wyoming now. Jay Sawvell and his defensive coaches are going to take a timeout.
First of the half. It's been 30-second timeout.
30-second first time out of the half. We'll keep it right here as on 4.5 yard, Jay Sawvell wants to make sure all of his defensive coaches, Ryan, and the 11 on the football field are on the same page here to try to get this stop.
Well, this is where you need Ori Salfeld, the head strength and conditioning coach, out there in the huddle talking to the linemen, saying this is the moment we've trained all offseason for. You got to push. You have to move the line of scrimmage. We need a half yard, guys. Offensive line, get it for us.
Yeah, this Zips offensive line with a lot of expectations on their shoulders coming to this season. 4th down to half yard. And, Ryan, a little bit, Ben Finley very, very, very rarely comes up under center to take a snap, and on 4th and even a couple of feet, he's 7 yards off the football here. First down. Got what they wanted. That handoff to Jordan Gant, and the 205-pounder got it done behind the blocks of Alan Jones at right guard and Delvin Morris, the Akron center. Clock moving as we approach 60 seconds now left in this first half. Akron looking to put points on the board for the first time tonight, trailing Wyoming 3-0, and now Akron wants the timeout.
Timeout. Akron. This is the first of the half. This will be 30-second timeout.
Reg, I have a feeling that neither team is going to take any timeouts into half. Although we just saw both teams use their first timeout, I could see this being a chess match between the offenses and defenses to try to negate the touchdown that Akron so desperately wants.
So you get a good look. You see with that that white Akron Zips visor on and the headset. That's one of the real offensive gurus throughout the course of his coaching tenure, Joe Moorhead, the Akron Zips head coach. Terrific runs. He's just joining us. Penn State, Oregon, during the offensive exploits of his coaching career. Finley going to pull that down. His throw is incomplete. Well, Finley was looking. That's Sean Patrick again. Patrick came out of the slot. You see Patrick down on the 10-yard line. I think Patrick thought he maybe going to try to sell that he made a catch here. No, he did not.
Terrific effort and ball placement by Ben Finley. And he looks good there, but then Patrick is down. And if you're an Akron Zip fan, that is not what you want to see. By the way, that was Michael Johnson, the other quarterback, in the inverted pistol wishbone that took the ball fake.
Eligible downfield offense, number 72. 5-yard penalties. Made first down.
One of the Zips captains, offensive lineman, fifth-year senior Colin Lyons, one of the Akron captains. Out of the strong McKeesport, Pennsylvania high school program. Got hit with that 5-yard motion penalty, and it's going to move the football now back to the 31-yard line. 1st and 15 with 54 seconds left. Finley, pressure, sack time, Wyoming. Oh, that was a real good get to the quarterback, as on that hit was Ben Florentine.
That's our second and a half. It's been 30 seconds.
285-pound senior out of Anaheim, California.
He's one of the Cowboys captains, and for a guy that big, 6'1", 182, his first step and his ability to get past the offensive guard was incredible. Ben Finley didn't have a whole lot of time to do anything because Florentine.
282, buddy.
280, my bad, 282. I felt like maybe he lost a pound in the first half.
I got you.
You know.
I got you. So Florentine came up with a hit. Joe Moorhead again huddling his offense. Timeouts left now. Akron has 1. And Wyoming has 2. I've got a feeling we're with 47 ticks left in this first half. We might see another one by each football team. Second down now, and that line to make is all the way down at the 17. Finley against pressure, throwing middle, came up short. He wanted that deep crossing route from Miles Walker, going to bring up 3rd and long now. That play took a long time to develop, Ryan, for Walker to come from outside the numbers and run that deeper crossing route.
And Finley was sliding away from pressure, and I'm not sure he had a chance to really set his feet and drive the football downfield.
Well, 3rd and 25. Joe Moorhead would love to get a bulk of this back. Again, Finley's being pressured. Had to get rid of the football. It is hauled in, making the grab. Miles Walker, where did he get pushed out of bounds? They're going to spot that at the 32. Boy, this would make this, Ryan, this would be a long one. This would be close to a 50-yard field goal for Owen Wiley. Wiley, the 180-pounder, he played at Avon Lake High School. Strong program here in Northeast Ohio. We'll call it 49 yards for Wiley from the right hash to try to tie it up. It might have got partially blocked. Whether it did or didn't, it's going to come up short. So Akron not able to culminate that drive with points with just 31 seconds left in this opening half. Now Wyoming's squad giving Ben Florentine a lot of attaboys, as if he might have got a hand on the football, Ryan.
Yeah, Ben Florentine, you don't often see the defensive tackle block a field goal. I know Danzus Miller, number 20, also was in the backfield. And for Owen Wiley, he is now 0 for 3 in his career on field goals from 40 to 49 yards.
Yeah, that's something that Joe Moorhead certainly is hoping that takes a definitive improvement from that range. 31 seconds left. Wyoming gonna try to put points on the board. They got a real nice quick hitter on the ground game though, and got in Akron territory. Let's see if that changes after that ball carry from Sam Scott got in Akron territory, and that football spotted at the 40.
As you just pointed out, they still, Wyoming that is, still has 2 timeouts.
Oh yeah. Well, that's not what certainly what Akron wanted defensively, allowing that big first down run into Zips territory. Caden Anderson going to set up that middle screen. That almost got picked off. That almost got picked off. And getting a big left paw on that football for the Akron Zips was Bruno Dull. Dull, a 260-pound defensive end. There's a good look at Dull, who wears number 41.
Yeah, you see him signaling there like, I need to bring that in with my left hand. You know, he's like,
I bet Joe Moorhead agrees.
Coach Tibbs probably does too.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator.
That's right. 21 ticks left. Caden Anderson will trigger the quick out, and that was hauled in. Making that catch was John Michael Gillenborg, the tight end. And on that Akron hit out of that secondary was Ben Kamara. All right, this is 3rd down. Now the line to make's at the 30. We're down to just 15 seconds left. However, though, remember, Wyoming still got 2 timeouts left. 2 timeouts. 3rd down and 4. Back to the ground game. Going to depend on the spot. That's real close to a first down. Right near the 30-yard line, and very, very quickly, Jay Sawville's got a timeout.
Wyoming, their 2nd half. It's been 30-second timeout.
11 seconds left now. Now, I guess they're not going to look at the potential first down. The officiating crew saying definitively that 3rd down run came up about a half-yard short.
I agree with the 2, from where the runner was brought down. So you're looking at a 48-yard field goal attempt if they go that route.
You want to try to, if you're Jay Sawville, you want to going to trust Caden Anderson with the timeout, or at least run another play. Then you can get the timeout if you need to and get the field goal team on.
And also, so much of that depends on the comfortability with the range of the kicker, because I think you're right. There's 2 plays left, and that second one you'd want to bring your field goal unit out for.
Right.
And if you don't get the first, you don't even get a crack at the field goal. They're going to go under center.
Going under center is Caden Anderson. He's got that one back with Sam Scott, the 230-pound senior, 7 yards behind him. It'll be Scott. He got belted right away. Quick timeout. Well, how about that hit by Akron? As coming up out of that secondary was Shaman Cooper. Cooper got up around the line of scrimmage and put on that definitive stick. So got to be field goal time now for Jay Sawvell. It'll be 48 yards.
That was
depending on the spot. What, was that the fourth down? That was a fourth down carry. That's correct. So turn it over on downs to the Akron Zips. Would imagine, yeah, they're in formation to just run out the clock with 7 seconds left for quarterback Ben Finley. Gonna go take that knee, and that's gonna do it. 30 minutes of football in the books, and Ryan Cavanaugh, I gotta tell you, color me a little bit surprised. I certainly thought we were, still could happen in the second half, but this first half, just 3 points on the board.
I wasn't expecting this. I thought we were going to see some excellent quarterback play, and I know the offenses was moving it, but it's been a bend but don't break defensive performance from both squads in this first half.
All right, we'll get on our halftime roll coming up. Wyoming got the one field goal here earlier in the second quarter. The Wyoming Cowboys on the road out of the Mountain West with this 3-0 lead over the Max Akron Zips. Don't go away. It's halftime here at Infocision Stadium at the University of Akron. And when we return, we're going to hear from the iconic tales of the ESPN Game Day legend, Lee Corso.
When LC puts on the headgear every Saturday morning, that is the moment when the day of football can start.
Could have never have dreamt that it would have become where we are today, where fans every week, that's what they wait for, to see which headgear he's going to put on.
I like Ohio State's speed and power, but I question their place kicker and their punter.
The headgear tradition started in 1996 at Ohio State. Herbstreit was fairly new on the show, and Kirk's wife Allison had been an Ohio State cheerleader.
He thought I might have some kind of in to try to get Brutus's headgear.
They had to do some very high-level, tense negotiations.
I'm telling you, it took 3 or 4 different back and forths until finally they green-lighted Brutus.
I tell you one thing. Buckeyes!
Let's just examine the Brutus head. It's a head representing a nut, a two-tone nut.
I like the Buckeyes.
So it's ridiculous looking. You can't help but laugh.
Hey, 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 hey.
And when he sensed that that was an entertaining moment that resonated with fans across the sport, he embraced it, and it's become a beloved tradition.
Colorado in a big upset.
I remember him as a young kid watching College Game Day, and Lee Corso was on there putting on the headgear. He is College Game Day.
I feel like I've been watching Lee Corso do that since, I was in high school. The different antics he's used and mascots he's used has been pretty incredible.
Entire wolf costume, a purple cow!
Cows!
To this day, I still watch and anticipate to see what he's going to do.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Seeing him fire off the guns is pretty funny.
My favorite one, we're at Texas, and McConaughey starts wrestling the LSU Tiger head off of LC. There was a little trickle of blood.
Katy Perry was incredible. Like, she damn near broke my man's nose, taking the mascot head off of him.
How can you pick against SMU?
He's thrown out some words that might needed to be edited.
My favorite memories definitely include live animals.
Man, we got a live duck. Who's on the set?
He's not afraid of gamecocks. He's not afraid of alligators. He's not afraid of dogs of any kind.
That dog is beautiful. That dog is ugly. Give me this thing here.
I think the best part is when Coach does the okey-doke, where he grabs one head, gets ready to put it on, and then he chucks it to the side and grabs the other one.
Penn State.
Give him that head. Does that mean you're going to go against your first love, Brutus?
Coach Corso is a maestro of the crowd. He can take them on a ride like not many people in the history of television can.
Corso with the duck.
He's always got something ready for the people, and to see him come out as Ben Franklin was just absolutely incredible.
I founded Penn. This is my school.
My best moment is when he picked Texas to win the national championship.
Tonight, they shocked the entire universe.
And all the other guys up there were totally against him.
I'm going with Texas Longhorns. Hook up, Texas!
And then we won. And I've praised Coach for that ever since.
He takes the headgear and he puts it on, right? And he just does this.
That royal wave is very perfect for the human that he is, the king of college football.
I think he's been a great ambassador for college football and has brought some great perspective, but also brought laughs and fun to a game that we have to remember is still supposed to be fun and supposed to be a game.
What he's provided to so many households, what he's provided to so many of us as coaches, he put a lot of fun in the game. I just can't thank him enough.
Roll Tide!
It's sincere, it's authentic, it's genuine, it embraces the fans, it embraces the tradition of what makes this sport unlike any other, and what makes Lee Corso a college football broadcaster, an icon that's unlike any other who's ever been involved with this sport.
And God bless the United States of America!
The fact that I've got a chance to sit next to you all these years and watch you do your thing and just learn from you, it just taught me so much about this industry, watching you perform and the way you did it.
There he is. The Kirk Herbstreit Show.
We love you so much. You're a piece of gold that we cherish.
Make sure you watch Lee Corso's Final Pick on Game Day, Saturday, 9 a.m. on ESPN. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We're just about ready for the second half of action here at InfoCision Stadium in Akron, Ohio. Make sure you stay with us. Wyoming's Cowboys with this 3-0 lead over the Akron Zips. Great to have you along. Michael Regai, Ryan Kavanaugh, all of our ESPN crew as we get set to start I want to say the next 30 minutes of football. I don't know, the way this one's going, that might not be enough to decide it tonight, Ryan. We'll see. I got a feeling both offenses, though, might start to percolate a little bit in the second half. How about you?
I would agree with that. I feel like, the halftime adjustments for two coaches that are as good as Coach Sawvell and Coach Moorhead are going to figure out what they need to do differently to light these offenses on fire.
Yeah, let's see what happens. It'll be the Akron Zips to get their hands on the football to start the second half. And on this return from the 5-yard line for Akron, as on that return for the Zips, Bob Thomas. And take a look, Brian, at these first half numbers. I mean, again, it's pretty much a game that neither team's been able to really roll, especially in the pass game.
Well, whenever we look at stats, we usually do it from an offensive standpoint, but what stands out to me is how well the defenses are playing, especially on third down, 2 of 10, 3 of 8 for the respective offenses, which just tells me these defenses so far in the earliest of the season, they're playing very good. They're ahead of the offenses at this point.
The Akron quarterback is Ben Finley on that quick toss, and that was broken up. Boy, is coming up off that corner to make that stick for the Wyoming Cowboys. There you see Dion DeBlanc. Was that Johnson? Okay, Johnson. Andrew Johnson. Both he and Dion DeBlanc, as you know, are wearing the same number 3. You'll have that a lot of times. Now, the thing is, they can't be on the football field together, but Andrew Johnson on that pass breakup. 2nd and 10, Ben Finley, 5th-year senior for Akron. Going to go back to the ground game, trying to get to the edge. Just not a lot of room there to do that. And on that carry for the Akron Zips, Marquise Williams.
If you're an Akron fan, that it's not a bad thing that Marquise Williams is carrying it, but it's also not a good thing that Sean Patrick is not in the football game. He has been their offense throughout the first half, and then that long attempted catch near the 10-yard line, he got up, took a few steps, and went back down, and I have not seen him on the sideline yet.
Kyan Mason, the redshirt freshman at St. Edward High School in Cleveland, in the slot. They look to him to possibly be a big play guy. Finley in trouble. That throw sailing well over the head of Miles Walker. 3 and out, and the Akron Zips going to have to punt the football away.
Yeah, Ben Finley took a big shot. You see him there walking off, trying to gather himself, but as he was delivering it, a big shot in the back. And those are the worst as a quarterback. When you cannot see where or when you're about to be hit, you can't brace yourself, and especially in the throwing motion. We'll see what sort of effect that has on Ben Finley, but certainly not the way Joe Moorhead wanted his offense to get started here in the second half.
Braden Johnson to hit this away, and he boomed it, hanging that high. And Akron get that football down inside the 5. Yes, they can. How about that monstrous Braden Johnson? Akron Zips punt. 68 yards is how many? That football got down at the 2-yard line.
Michael, we're taking a look at Mr. Electricity for the Wyoming Cowboys. It's Chris Durr, and he made so many big plays. And anytime he touches it, he's a threat to take it to the house, and he shows off not only the side-to-side agility, but the speed here. Just gets tripped up, style points with the forward roll. But Chris Durr is a guy who Caden Anderson wants to get the ball in the hands of. And this, Michael, is the worst starting field position of the night for Wyoming, which is not surprising because they're on the 2-yard line.
Yep. That's where this drive begins, and we'll see what Caden Anderson, this sophomore quarterback, has in mind. Want to stay on the ground. Wedging out about 4 yards off that left side. That's Sam Scott in the carry. Scott wears number 22, big 227-pound senior.
And defensively, Michael, that was Shamad Cooper, one of the first Zips to get there. He had a big first half, 6 tackles, give him 7 now.
Yeah, Cooper is a real nice player, playing one of those linebacker spots. He plays the will linebacker. He and Gage Summers. Trying to get to the edge off that second down call.
That's Cooper again, Michael. How about that side to side? Trying to get outside with the running backs, and look at number 7 chase him down. Beautiful job.
Third down is short. Call it long 1, short 2 here. Caden Anderson, Wyoming's quarterback, under center. Got a couple of tight ends and that one back look with Sam Scott behind him. 3rd and short, and this is Scott. He's got a first down. Only needed a couple as he wedged his way behind the block of Wes King, that 315-pound left guard. First down, Wyoming. Just underway in this third quarter. Wyoming with a 3-0 lead in what has, as we showed him, been an offensively challenged football game for both teams. Akron showed blitz off the corner. Anderson checked down and hit his throw to Scott. And that Akron hit out of the linebacking spot again came from Gage Summers. Like Summers' activity, Ryan, 225-pound fifth-year senior.
That was an excellent open field tackle. Receiver trying to spin away. Summers brings him to the ground for a 1.5, 2-yard gain.
And now second down, and we'll call it a long 8 for Caden Anderson. Back to the ground game. Well, not much there. Is coming up again to make that Akron hit was Gage Summers. Summers, there he is. Where's number 23? Looks like a linebacker, doesn't he?
Sure does.
They got that jersey cut off.
Kind of jogged off the field with his hands up like, I'm rolling here, coach. That's 2 in a row.
Back-to-back stops for Gage Summers. So we'll see what head coach Jay Sawvell comes up with. This is 3rd and 6. Checked it down. That's not going to get there. As his throw was complete, as he was able to hit Teron Kelman. But you see coming up out of that Akron secondary was Elijah Reed.
I think the second effort they were going to move the chains, Michael. He was stopped short.
Yeah, he was. And they moved the sticks. And again, Wyoming with a couple of first downs now as they started at their own 2-yard line here on this drive that has now brought us 5 minutes into this third quarter. 3-0 Wyoming. First down run play. Only got a couple off that left side. Teron Kelman. And again on that hit now we're starting to call these Akron defenders. Boy, a lot of them that are they're making multiple stops now, Akron, for Joe Moorhead and their defensive alignment. Elijah Reed on the hit there. Anderson, a lot of time. Gonna come middle, is broken up. Excellent coverage there, Ryan, for Akron. As was Shaman Cooper from that drop back from that Mike linebacker spot to make the hit.
Akron elected to bring 4, and it was tremendous pass protection from Wyoming's big boys up front.
3rd and long here. Let's see what Jay Sawvell, the head coach of Wyoming, and his offensive coordinator, quarterback coach Jay Johnson have in mind. 3rd down, they need 8. Pressure coming. Anderson's throw is incomplete. Akron's going to get off the football field as that throw was intended for Bryson Brantley and glanced off his hands. Incomplete.
Yeah, Brantley was open. Look, he comes out of it and just off target off the hand of Caden Anderson. And Akron has to be pleased with the stop.
Bart Edmiston to boot it away. Pressure from Akron. He'll hang it high. Fair catch time at the 27-yard line for Akron. All right, Zips, Ben Finley, and the offense back on the football field. 3-0 Wyoming when we return to Infocision Stadium. It would appear that do-it-all Akron Zips running back Sean Patrick made some impressive plays in the first half with his ability to catch and wiggle. Ryan is without his pads and helmet and looks like he is out for the rest of this one.
Well, the Akron Zips had 112 yards of offense in the first half, and there's Sean Patrick sitting to the left, our left of the down marker. He combined for 75 of the 112. I'm not that great at math, but I'm going to call that like 71% of the offensive production.
So who does Joe Moorhead and the offensive staff turn to? There's first down throw from Ben Finley is showing you I've got other playmakers. Kyan Mason, the redshirt freshman, on the grab.
He's a playmaker. That was a nice pass from Ben Finley. Remember, the last play he took a shot on third down as he released it, but Finley looks to be back and ready to roll.
You know, Joe Moorhead told Ryan and I this week, the thing I want to impress on Finley, you don't have to win the game on every snap you take. He's trying to get him kind of away from having to have explosive plays every time he takes a snap and coming up with something big individually himself.
And I think that's important as he comes out of the game now, and they're going to bring in Michael Johnson. But as we said earlier, the first drive with Caden Anderson in Wyoming, just to take what the defense gives you, and so often forcing big plays not only creates problems, but oftentimes turnovers.
Yeah, exactly. So second down and 8, as Ryan said, Ben Finley went to the sideline. Michael Johnson, the fifth-year senior, who's also played at Penn State, Florida Atlantic, and Syracuse on the football field. Back to the ground game here. That second down call, Johnson kept it himself. So, you know, Johnson at Penn State was with Joe Moorhead there. So that's where they have their connection early in Johnson's career.
Yeah, design quarterback draw. Obviously, Johnson can throw the football as well. And to the extent that I know Joe Moorhead and I'm familiar with his play calling design, he's setting it up for Johnson to come in. Wyoming believes it's a run, and he throws the football on him with Johnson. So something perhaps to keep an eye on as this game continues on.
Yeah, you got 7 in the box near the line of scrimmage here, and on the snap, we got a whistle. Ben Finley had come back in the football game for Joe Moorhead. And
timeout.
Akron got a timeout.
That's the first of the half.
Maybe it was that 7 in the box defensively, very near the line of scrimmage. Made Joe Moorhead say, wait a minute, we got to talk. 3-0 Wyoming when we come back on ESPN. Great to have you with us tonight here on ESPN. We're in Infocision Stadium, the home of the Akron Zips. Akron, Ohio, the northeast corner of the Buckeye State. Wyoming's Cowboys are in here, and the Cowpokes have brought a lot of their ardent followers with them from Laramie, Wyoming. They've got a 3-0 lead, does Wyoming. Akron right now just got into Wyoming territory, looking at a 3rd down. We'll call it a short 3 here. Going to go with 2 backs and run the football. Michael Johnson came up short of the line to make. However, I'm sure you saw that flag fly in that usually is in the area of holding on the offense.
Holding. Offense. Number 53. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 3rd down.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get the left guard right there. That was a takedown. Anytime you get the hand on the middle of the back, Michael, it makes it easy for the officials. What makes it even easier for the officials is when your quarterback is running right behind the guilty party.
That's Kenneth McManus, the big 320-pounder. Sorry I had to identify you that way, Kenneth. But you got caught. They threw the flag on you. So now it brings up a 3rd down and 12. Finley crossing route. Too tall and incomplete. He was looking to hook up with Marcel Williams. And Akron's going to have to punt the football away.
That is a man wondering how to get his offense going.
Yes, he is. No question about that. So that Chris Durr standing at the 10-yard line to accept this boot. That goes into the end zone, hanging it high. All right, we'll take this timeout. 6:15 left in the 3rd quarter. Still 3-0. Wyoming over Akron. Cowboys football when we come back to Northeast Ohio. Northeast Ohio homecoming for the Wyoming Cowboys head football coach, Jay Sawville. How about Mid-American Conference programs in bowl games recently? And as you see, against Wyoming, evidently 3 wins. 3 wins for Wyoming over Toledo, Kent State, and Central Michigan, and a loss to the Ohio Bobcats back in 2022. Now that first down throw from quarterback Caden Anderson is hauled in, and making that catch is Chris Durr. That very active and excellent slot receiver. Just 170 pounds, young man from Chicago, but as Jay Sawville told us, Ryan, very dynamic in the slot is Durr. We've seen that tonight. Play fake. Anderson will deliver a dart. And again, out of the slot, it's back-to-back hookups with Chris Durr.
Left of your screen, you're going to see the safety, or the corner rather, he gets picked up. But if you're going to blitz a corner, it was Ben Kamara coming off the edge, you're going to give something up. So it was great identification by quarterback Caden Anderson to realize that Akron was taking a risk and leaving themselves open. Chris Durr found that soft spot and dropped it in. Michael, to this point, after that play, Wyoming has 3 plays of 20 yards or more. Akron 0. And that was
Ronald Hull for Akron, right?
Yeah, Ronald Hull, the defensive end, coming off. But we talk about those explosives, the chunk plays, and the 2 longest offensive plays for Akron were both by a guy named Sean Patrick, who we just talked about, and we just saw not in uniform anymore. So while Akron does not have a play of 20 or more, they've got to find somebody on that offensive side that can deliver it for them.
Caden Anderson now. Looks like it's going to be movement. Flag was thrown near that Wyoming sideline. False start on the Wyoming Cowboys.
5-yard penalty.
They actually hit the center with that, Jack Walsh. False start himself before he snapped the football. There's a good look at Jack Walsh.
I'll tell you about Jack Walsh and these 2 guards in a moment.
First and 15 now for Caden Anderson, getting the football out of his hands quickly, and that's picked off. The football was deflected up in the air. Akron's front 4 made the play, and picking that off before the Akron Zips on the defensive side of things. Marcus Boswell.
Yeah, the true freshman, Michael, from Austin, Texas. And I think it's Bruno Dahl, number 41, the defensive end, who gets a hand on it. Take a look. And there it is. 41 bats it in the air, and the true freshman, Marcus Boswell, able to bring it in. And Akron has what they call in the business a sudden change.
So when you get the sudden change, you're looking for the veteran quarterback, Ben Finley, playing on the short field from the 39-yard line. Akron needs to, at the very least, put points on the board, but Finley very errant with that throw that was well behind his intended receiver, as that was thrown toward Cameron Montero, the redshirt freshman.
And they just weren't on the same page. Montero was in breaking. Finley thought he was going to come right back down the stem. That's where the ball was delivered, and it's not always a good thing when the wide receiver looks and has his palms facing the sky extended, saying, that's not where I was going.
Just 139 yards of total offense here now. Finley's going to keep the football. Off that play fake, might have a first down. Yeah, it is a first down. Got 11 to the 28-yard line. So Ben Finley showing a little bit of power. What'd you say, Ryan? How many pounds? Put about 15 pounds on before the season?
That's right. when they went to the MAC Media Day and they went to put his uniform on, it wouldn't fit. Because of the added muscle, he needed help to get, the uniform on.
The jersey.
The jersey, right.
Yeah.
There you go. Not a whole lot of leg days, but a lot of upper body.
That's all right. But get it whatever way you can, right, when you need it.
Yeah. We have the same workout program.
Is that right? Okay.
I just skip leg day.
All right. Now going back in that inside delayed handoff and running hard is Marquise Williams. There's Williams, who started his career again with the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Nice job by this offensive line. Look at the push they're getting. Big Daryl Johnson Jr., 6'4", 300. You see Delvin Morris, the center, downfield as well. When your offensive linemen are 4 or 5 yards downfield on top of defenders,
success.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what you call it.
Got 6, second down and 4. Red zone time, close to it. Red zone time now for Akron. Getting the corner turn. Very nimble run once again from Akron's running back, the Minnesota transfer, Marquise Williams.
Take a look at this block, Michael. Number 1, you see him go down. That's Miles Walker, 5'9", 175, sacrifices his body to allow Marquise Williams to hit the edge. And the Zips are in business.
6 yards away from potentially grabbing their first lead of the football game. We're already inside 3 minutes left in the third. Stay on the ground. Go to that zone read. Wyoming was having none of it. Williams on the carry once again, but he got flagged by Braden Johnson. Took him down. Johnson, the 250-pound senior will linebacker.
Braden Johnson coming into this game at 145 career tackles. He knows how to get to the football. And I thought that might have been a little close for Johnson throwing him down out of bounds.
Clock continues to move. 2nd and goal now from the 6-yard line. Wyoming with their 3-0 lead intact. Play fake, looking end zone, got picked off. Ben Finley just got picked off as he kind of locked on, and will linebacker Braden Johnson just read that all the way. And Ryan, I don't think Johnson ever took his eyes off of Ben Finley, who telegraphed that throw.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And when a defender is that much in the line of fire, it means the quarterback is locked in on his receiver beforehand and decides he's going to throw to a spot, and he doesn't look at that spot, because if he did, he would have seen number 9 in white standing right there. Easy interception for Braden Johnson.
Well, Akron's going to have to find a way, and I know Joe Moorhead and his coaching staff are going to try to lift this football team back up. Their best drive of the night, Ryan, they're on the cusp of putting 6 on the board and taking the lead and throw the pick. How do they respond now? Wyoming loving getting that from their defense. Should be a false start on Wyoming offensively.
False start. Offense. Number 65. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Yeah, they got the left tackle, Nathan Geiger, and perhaps that's because number 1 right there in your picture, Julian LeVenture, is rushing against him, and he has created havoc and gotten into the Wyoming offensive backfield several times tonight. You've called his name numerous times. And that can make an offensive lineman a little jumpy when you have an assignment like that across from you.
1st and 15 now. 4 wide receivers for Caden Anderson. Anderson's going to lift that throw and threw it out of bounds. He lofted the throw. Quite frankly, lofted the throw into double coverage, and got enough on his throw to throw it over the head of his intended receiver and out of bounds.
The reason that ball was released early is the man I just mentioned, Julian LeVenture, working on Geiger. Take a look at the right side of your screen, and there he is getting past him, getting a hand in Caden Anderson's face.
2nd and 15. That line to make is out at the 27. Back to the ground game. Strong burst off that right side from Sam Scott. We've called Scott's name quite a bit tonight, this running back. Much improved from 2000 to 24, says head coach Jay Sauville, excuse me. Going quick again. And it's going to work for Caden Anderson. Doesn't carry the football himself much, but liked what he saw there. Moved the chains, first down, Wyoming.
The Cowboys are really enjoying running behind the right side of their line. Caden Barnett is the right guard, Rex Johnson the right tackle. And they are moving people and creating space. They put their big tight end, John Michael Gillenborg, over there as well.
Well, this is going to cost Wyoming 5.
False start.
But Ryan, you can really tell this is, opening night. I guarantee you in a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks, 90% of these false starts won't happen any longer.
Yep, it's one thing to play against your own guys for, a month of football. But when you got somebody across from you, you're not used to their moves or their athleticism coming off the ball, that, again, makes linemen a little bit jumpy.
Yep. 1st and 15 now for Wyoming QB Caden Anderson. Off play action. A lot of time. Came middle. That is hauled in. Making the grab. First down with a lot of yards after the catch. That's Jackson Holman, 210-pound sophomore. Started his career as an Arizona Wildcat.
Excellent pass protection up front. Akron actually blitzed on that play, but the Cowboys were able to not only pick it up.
Result of the play is a first down. Sideline warning. Wyoming. There's no yardage associated with the foul.
But they kept a clean pocket and a clean jersey for Caden Anderson, and he does a nice job of remaining calm, stepping into the throw and hitting Jackson Holman.
Going to start that clock now. Moving with 45 seconds left, third quarter. Back to that zone read ground game. Akron smelled that out. The carry from Sam Scott only got a yard on that Akron Zips hit. Gage Summers once again. Going quickly now. Anderson will throw that out. That is hauled in. And making that grab. Ball came out, but was after the whistle blew. Jackson Holman, his second catch for Wyoming on this drive. And with the clock moving, that's probably going to be with 10 seconds left. We'll see. Might not get another snap here in this third quarter. Caden Anderson says, oh, yes, we will, Regai, with 3 seconds left. That will definitely end it now as that third down caught run from Sam Scott. 45 minutes of football in the books. We've got all of 3 points on the board. Wyoming with a 3-0 lead over Akron. Cowboys with a football, trying to add to their advantage. 15 minutes to go. Come on back with us on ESPN. 45 minutes of football in the books. Who's ready for at least 15 more? As the Wyoming Cowboys, the Mountain West have this lead. Take a look at others involving MAC teams. Bowling Green, Eddie George's squad with a 25-7 lead over Lafayette. Rutgers at home, and Piscataway held on. Beat Ohio 34-31. Minnesota and Buffalo. The Bulls down 7-3. And right here, Wyoming has a 3-0 lead over Akron. Wyoming from the Mountain West. Akron, of course, from the MAC. Going to throw that bubble screen and put it in the hands of Chris Durr. Durr has been the favorite target tonight, Ryan, of quarterback Caden Anderson.
He'd be my favorite target, too. I mean, this kid can scoot. Look how fast he gets north and south after catching it. Little athleticism jumping and just runs out of spaces to shake and bake and get upfield. But they're inside the 30.
Can Wyoming pad this advantage? Have not had a touchdown through the first close to 46 minutes of this one yet. Now in open space with that good move is running back Sam Scott. Good first down carry for Scott. Give him 6. We'll call it 2nd down and 4. We've got an Akron Zip defensive player down on the field. Opening games, although, Ryan, temperature-wise, we're really 57, 58 degrees. Maybe got as high as 60 earlier on, but certainly not a hot night by any means.
No, this is unseasonably cold, I would call it, for
late August.
Yeah. Although for the summer that we've had here in Northeast Ohio, it's par for the course. You never know what you're going to get.
So true. As being pulled to his feet, Akron defensively was Julian LaVenture, the 285-pound D tackle. So he's got to come off the football field for a play. 2nd down, and let's call it a long 4 here. That line to make is down just a shade beyond the 18-yard line as Wyoming's trying to add to their lead. 10th play of this drive for quarterback Caden Anderson and head coach Jay Sawvell. Now go back to that zone read run game. And again, it's Sam Scott on the carry. Scott's been the running back bellwether tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, that's his, I believe, his 20th carry of the game. He's over 100 yards, and he's consistently gets positive yardage.
So 3rd down, long 3. Again, the line to make is the 18-yard line. Could this be 4-down territory for Jay Sawvell in Wyoming? Caden Anderson to put it up. Anderson rotated out of the pocket, and he's picked up a 1st down. That's John Michael Gillenborg who made the grab. 1st down, Wyoming.
Gillenborg, one of the more reliable targets. Nice job using his hands. He was a great high school baseball player too, Michael. Threw it in the 90s as a pitcher.
Sure. 6'5", 255 pounds. Probably an imposing figure from 60 feet 6 inches. For high school hitters.
No doubt.
Yeah. Scott again. Look at Scott lower his pads. Very impressed tonight with Sam Scott as he's inside the 10 down to the 9-yard line. So give Scott 7. We'll call it 2nd down and 3.
There's not a whole lot that's flashy about Sam Scott's running style, but it is very effective, and he always has the low pad level and almost always is falling forward.
He's been impressive. Gained 435 yards and scored 3 TDs a year ago on 92 carries. And he's got the football again. And Akron got him on the ground. Will depend on the spot for Scott. Scott, with a good spot, might have picked up the 1st down. We'll see. I think, though, that the officiating crew is going to say 3rd down, and that spot will be put at the 8-yard line. 3rd down, call it a yard. Line to make at the 7. Any guess who's going to get the football? Yeah, Akron knew. Sam Scott got knocked down. And probably field goal time, I would imagine, for Jay Sawville, but we'll see. He lost yardage there on this carry. Look at Akron. Get the good, strong push there for the Zips up front. They got that done.
Excellent penetration. John Trell Mixon, number 97, was the first man there.
4th down. Scott lost a half yard.
And Akron's
no field goal team. 4th down, we'll call it 1. Again, the line to make at the 7. And now timeout for Jay Sawville and Wyoming. That is what, their first timeout of this second half. All right, we'll take it with them. 3-0 Wyoming. Cowboys looking to add to their lead when we come back. Nothing lead for that man who played his football at Mount Union for head coach Larry Karras once upon a time. Jay Sawville. Brian Cavanaugh, he's got his football team looking at a 4th and a long 1 between the 7 and 8 yard lines, and he's told Caden Anderson and his offense we're staying on the football field to try to move the sticks.
This is why I'm glad I'm not a head coach.
Yeah, listen, you and I just talked about it. We'll be very forthcoming. You put the 3 on the board, and now you're forcing Akron to put a touchdown up to beat you. That's why Jay Sawville, though, is a head coach. He's trusting his football team. Scott, and that trust is not gonna pay off. Akron with yet another 4th down stop. Wyoming just 1 of 3 now on 4th down snaps tonight. That Akron D got all over it again. All right, we'll tell you more about that Akron stop. Their defensive unit coming off the field to a big round of applause here at Infocision Stadium. Still 3-0 Wyoming. take a look at yet another fourth down stop, their second one of the night by the Akron Zips. Just excellent penetration. They beat blocks of that Wyoming front line, Brian Cavanaugh.
First guy there was Julian LaVenture. How many times have I said that tonight? And if you're Wyoming, that was a 15-play drive covering 75 yards in over 6.5 minutes, and you have 0 points to show for it.
Yeah, so we'll see. Now Akron, though, got to play on this long field. Start from their 10, 90 yards away. Finley double clutched that, then got his throw out. Very minimal gain as Finley throw was hauled in by Williams, and Williams got knocked down after a gain of just a couple.
Darius Miller was one of the Cowboys to get there. I'm very impressed with the overall team speed and aggressiveness of the Wyoming Cowboys on defense. It looks like wherever on the field and however deep down the field Akron tries to operate offensively, there's 2 or 3 white jerseys right on the Akron Zips.
Finley came underneath, just not much there. He hit Tim Greer Jr., a fifth-year senior out of New Orleans, but he got planted right away. It's just been an absolute rock fight for Akron to move the football well against this Wyoming defense tonight.
Akron faces yet another third down. They're 2 of 10 on the night. Ethan Stuhlsatz, the beautiful form tackle.
Yeah, he's made a couple of strong hits tonight. Down to 9 minutes left on this 3rd and 5. Pressure, Finley's throw almost got picked off. He was looking for the out route for Tim Greer, and jumping that route for Wyoming was their excellent corner, Danesis Miller, a young man who's played at both Marshall and Mercer in his college career. A little bit of a shake of the head, from Joe Moorhead, as he's just trying to find a way to get his football team to put a sustained drive together.
Well, they're struggling with blitz pickup. That time they brought Braden Johnson. The running back did not get enough of a piece of him, and quarterback Ben Finley had to rush that throw.
Zips need a good punt here from Owen Wiley, who's standing at his goal line.
Play of game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Not really a big difference here, although it is going to push punter Owen Wiley. He was standing at the goal line there a moment ago. This is going to push him about 5 yards deep. Joseph Castle has jumped in and going to punt here, and he hit a good one. Backing up to the 45-yard line. Solid return for Wyoming. Now, do we got a flag on the back of that? Let's see.
On the return.
We'll have to take a look at that, as that Wyoming return might get brought back. Let's see.
Turn the kick. Legal block in the back. Return team. Tender penalty will be added on to the end of the kick. Be 1st down. Media timeout.
We're getting a timeout here with 8:45 left in it. Don't go away. Wyoming's got football again. Their lead is but 3-0. Wyoming with a 3-0 lead. Cowboys have the football. Now make sure you get all of ESPN College Football all in one place. The all-new ESPN app. You can unlock the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Michael Regai, Ryan Kavanaugh, Adam Meyer, our producer, Mike Bacon, our director, all of our ESPN crew. Great to have you along tonight. I know you're clamoring for touchdowns. I know you are, regardless of whom you're rooting for. So are we. But right now, nary a 1, 3-0 Wyoming. Caden Anderson going to take a shot deep middle. That was broken up beautifully. How about the defensive play from the Akron Zips out of that secondary from Malcolm DeWalt, the fifth-year senior.
Beautiful technique. Mike Lee stayed on his back hip, and the ball is just slightly underthrown, and you'll see him reach with his left hand and bat it down. But he's worried, and see how the receiver has to slow down a little bit. That was Bryson Brantley, and that allowed DeWalt to slap it away, and we've got a flag. It's going to be a false start.
Going to cost Wyoming 5. Yep, false start on their O-line.
Number 65. 5-yard penalty.
Guilty party, Nathan Geiger, the big left tackle.
That is his third false start, perhaps in the last 2 series, in fact. But not something you expect from Geiger. He's very, very highly thought of offensive lineman for the Cowboys.
So Caden Anderson now got to look at a 2nd and 15 for Wyoming. Back to the ground game, and that means more heavy duty from Sam Scott. Only got a couple. We'll give them 4, and it's going to bring up now for Wyoming a 3rd down, and we'll call it 10. That line to make is at the 44. We're going to come inside the 8-minute mark on this 3rd down snap and play for Wyoming quarterback Caden Anderson. 3rd and 10. Pressure coming. His throw is through the hands and incomplete. I'm sure Michael Fitzgerald wishes he had that opportunity back. Big 6'6" wide out. Ryan Kavanaugh, he just did not secure the football. Went right through his hands.
That is a high ball if you consider the wide receiver, who is fully arms outstretched over his head, is standing at 6'6".
Yep.
I would have needed like a mini trampoline or a stepladder to get to that football.
So yet another stop for the Akron Zips. Hey, look, both these defenses have been terrific tonight. I'm going to show you Wyoming's in a second. Now this boot is fair caught at the 23-yard line. And that's Akron fair catch. Was made at the 23-yard line by Michael Johnson, the backup quarterback. All right, let's start with the Wyoming defense, Ryan Kavanaugh. What's made them so good tonight?
Well, first of all, their pass rush, you can see here, they're just getting to Finley. They're making his life uncomfortable. And this is just Braden Johnson being in the right spot and reading the quarterback's eyes and taking it away. But overall, I've been very impressed. At times, it looks like there's 12 or 13 defenders for Wyoming on the field, because whenever Akron appears to have a glimpse of daylight and offensive success, it's overshadowed by 3 Wyoming Cowboy defenders.
Ben Finley's going to throw that fade, and that's hauled in. He put it over that outside shoulder, and Marcel Williams went up and got it. Good throw to the outside where it needed to be by Finley.
Michael, when you're one-on-one on an island and you run a go or a 9 route and the quarterback sees the defender open his hips and run, he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, so you place it where your receiver can go get it, make the adjustment, and that's exactly what Marcel Williams did. Great body control, great hands, and a really nice throw from Ben Finley.
Absolutely. Put it exactly where it had to be on the outside of Williams. Finley now on the roll right, has to throw that away. He was looking for Miles Walker, the 5th-year senior, who wasn't able to hold that in. But did we get a flag on that play?
Yeah, I think we got an illegal man downfield.
exactly right, partner. It's going to cost Akron. Or is Wyoming just going to say, we'll take the play and turn the down box?
Penalties declined.
Yeah, they declined it, Ryan, so we'll turn the down box now to second down.
That'll happen on a long developing play. They, fake a run to the left, and then it's play action to the right. You've got a back in the flat, long developing routes, and sometimes those offensive linemen are pushing, and they just push too far upfield.
Fifth-year quarterbacking senior Ben Finley for Joe Moorhead and Akron. Pocket broke down. Well, Finley's got to try to make something out of a broken play, and he angled his way out of bounds pretty much near the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up third down now and 11.
Wyoming's been able to pressure Ben Finley without bringing a blitz, an extra man, and that allows them to have an extra man in coverage. And Finley right now is having a hard time finding open receivers downfield. There's big 94, Ben Florentine. Nickname, Mustard Gas, because he's,
I don't know,
short and strong, but I don't know what mustard gas is.
I can't say I've ever heard of that before. Third down and 11 for Ben Finley. Pocket breaks down. Finley's on the move and in a lot of trouble. Threw it up for grabs, out of bounds. Akron's got to punt the football away. It's opening night, and it has been one of those nights for Joe Moorhead's Akron Zips offense.
Well, look, they're dropping guys in coverage. They're not bringing linebackers, but their front four are able to consistently get pressure. There's Christian Ifani. He's on one end. There's another defender on the other. Ben Finley's running for his life and just threw the ball up.
So Joseph Castle will boot this away for Akron. No fair catch there at the 14-yard line. That's a brave soul. He's making that fair catch for Wyoming. Is that Cohen? I think it was. He's been there the last couple of times. Yeah, Charlie Cohen. He's a junior wide receiver. So, if you're an Akron Zips fan, you're going to ask your defense yet one more time to make something happen, get a stop, get the football back. There's your total yards. Not 200 yards yet combined in the air and on the ground for the Akron offense. That will not please Joe Moorhead. Play fake. Caden Anderson, he's going to take a shot deep. Got what he wanted. That throw is hauled in. Making that grab for Wyoming, Jackson Holman. And they got what they wanted there, Ryan, as they said, we're going to air this out.
Play action. Holman came from the right and just ran straight down the field. And he beats his man in coverage. Well-placed ball. Alex Branch can't catch up to it, and Holman has just flipped the field.
Yes, he has, and I'll go back to the ground gate, and that means 230-pound Sam Scott. Scott got 5, maybe 6 on first down. They're going to spot that football at the 36-yard line. They'll give him 5 and second down and 5.
And I don't want to go out on a limb here, Michael, but I think we are going to see a very heavy dose of Sam Scott. Work the clock down, continue to improve field position.
Yeah, we're going to go right to 5 minutes after this play as Scott on the carry got stood up after he gained 1. As we come inside, 5 minutes left in this one. And Ryan, I mean, if you're Jay Sawville, you got to feel pretty good. I mean, he's not happy either. If you'd have told him our offense is only going to put up 3 points here with less than 5 left, he'd probably say it's going to be a long night for us then. No. Not the case. They've got a lead and now have the football and looking to continue to grind time off that clock. 3rd and 5 for quarterback Caden Anderson. He's played effectively tonight. He threw that bubble screen. That is caught. Heading to the house. Touchdown. Chris Durr Wyoming. They needed one big play, and Caden Anderson and Chris Durr have just provided it.
Akron was jamming the box to try to take away the threat of Sam Scott. And when you have somebody like Chris Durr and that breakaway speed on the outside, you get him the football and good things will happen. And that is truly an extension of the run game. Give it out to Chris Durr, and man, did he take off.
Eric Sandvik to add this PAT. He will do that to bump the lead to 10-0 with our first touchdown of the night. Ryan Cavanaugh, courtesy of Chris Durr, the Chicago, Illinois native.
So they bring pressure from the outside, and the inside flow is not fast enough. The defensive inside flow not fast enough to get out to Chris Durr. You're essentially in man-to-man, and you get your tight end, John Michael Gillenborg, out on the corner on top of Chris Durr. And Chris Durr Jr. just takes his speed to beat everybody else on the Akron Zip defense.
Yeah, a couple of those Wyoming Cowboy offensive linemen too, man. They got out in front of that and led a convoy for Durr into the house. And like I said, still 4:21 left again, but you know, you've been with us all night, not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, we thought first team, now we got to the fourth quarter, somebody puts a touchdown up, they're probably going to be hard to beat.
That's right. This is a very effective offensive line, a veteran offensive line for Wyoming.
So Akron going to get their hands on the football here, and they're going to have to go quickly. They are down a couple of possessions now, facing a 10-point deficit, so they'll need a couple of times of putting points on the board if the Akron Zips are going to either win this football game or elongate it. Non-returnable on that boot, so Akron is going to start this drive with 4 minutes and 21 seconds left from their 25-yard line with quarterback Ben Finley in this offense. Must have points on this possession, Ryan. Must have.
Well, and they need to work fast, Michael. You know, I mean, with 4:21, there's no time to be patient. Finley's going to have to throw the football. I look for him to get it to his playmakers, and that would be number 1, Miles Walker, number 3, Kyan Mason, and Alex Adams, transfer from LSU, has been quiet since that first drive.
Yeah.
When he had what would have been the best play of Akron, but he wasn't able to hang on to the football.
Going to run that delayed draw. There's not a whole lot there for Jordan Gant.
Hands on the carry to the 26.
Taken down by that linebacking core again. Tice Westland, the Wyoming senior, made the stop. 2nd down and 9, inside 4 left. Finley in trouble. Sec time, Wyoming. They close that pocket on Finley and Lucas Samsula, a big 310-pounder on the sack.
He's just playing down the line of scrimmage, Michael. Finley tries to run up through the middle. Samsula shuts it down. This defensive line's been impressive for Wyoming.
3rd down and 12 is Ben Finley. Got to come up with a make here on a play. Going to go middle. It was broken up. It looked like it got broken up out of that secondary. And on that breakup was Jones Thomas. He told us he wasn't heavily recruited coming out of high school. 200-pounder out of Fort Collins, Colorado, and made an excellent defensive deflection there.
Well, this has been a big day for the Wyoming defense. Defense coordinator Aaron Bohl in his 2nd year. He's the son of former Wyoming head coach Craig Bohl. And the defensive line I just talked about, their position coach is Deontay Gibson, from St. Edward High School here in Cleveland, Ohio. He went to Northwestern and had a couple cups of coffee in the NFL, and now he's found his way out to Wyoming. And
delay of game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty.
A lot of stuff to clean up for Joe Moorhead and his Akron Zips. I mean, you're trying to punt the football away and you get a delay of game that cost you 5. Akron next Saturday, so 9 days from now, we'll head to Lincoln, Nebraska to tangle with Matt Rule, former Temple head coach, while he was in the MAC with the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Wyoming's punt return squad just going to clear away from that. It'll come to rest at the 46-yard line. 3:05 left. Akron's got no choice now. They're looking for a stop, and they'll probably Ryan also, because you know that Wyoming's going to be running the football, and Akron's going to have to burn these 2 timeouts they got left.
Well, one of the reasons they're running the football is this offensive line, Michael, and by now everybody knows that the #1 podcast in the country is a couple football guys, Travis and Jason Kelsey. But this offensive front, Wes King wearing 78, number 79 Jack Walsh, and number 72 Caden Bennett, they've got their own podcast and it's becoming quite popular.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it's called Fat, Fatter, Fattest.
Nice.
I don't know which one's which, but they have football coaches on. They talk football, they talk food, and it's catching on. So for all you out there that are interested in entertaining podcasts, show some love for the big boys at Wyoming.
I bet that's big in Laramie. You're going to go and run that fly sweep. Got 6 on the first down carry. As on that fly sweep call for Wyoming was their wide receiver, Bryson Brantley. Akron has what now? 1 more timeout left they can stop the clock with, and that's it. And Brantley just got 7 on that fly sweep. So tough way to go right now for Joe Moorhead. Don't have the football. Down to 1 timeout left. Inside 3 minutes left. And more importantly, down by 10.
Well, when you went back to Coach Jay Sawvell and saying, if you told him he was only going to have three points with 4 minutes to play, he probably wouldn't be happy. But he also might say, man, we better hold to under 200 yards of total offense. And Coach Bowl and the rest of his defensive coaching staff and the players, they were able to do that, and it's been an outstanding defensive performance for the Cowboys.
His second down call going to get stood up right around the line of scrimmage as Sam Scott took the hit.
Timeout.
And that's it. With 2:53 left, the Akron Zips have just burnt their 3rd and final timeout. So you will, I would say most definitely, Ryan, see a 3rd down run call here from that man, head coach Jay Sawvell. And, if they come up short, you got to think, they'll burn another 35, 40 seconds off the clock and then punt the football away, as we'll come very close to about 2 minutes left.
Yeah, so you got the 2-minute timeout. Akron with no timeouts at that point. Well, at this point, they have no timeouts.
Yeah, Akron's burned them all. They don't have any left.
And you'll see what they have to work with. I mean, it's bleak is one way I would describe the chances for Akron to win this football game, but we have seen crazier things, have we not?
Absolutely we have, yeah. And if you're Jay Sawvell, again, if you're just joining us, played his college football for legendary Larry Karras as a Mount Union Purple Raider. Run game, got a couple. But Akron can only stand there and watch that clock tick away.
Well, there is a 6-second difference from the game clock and the 2-minute timeout. So Wyoming, with 2 timeouts in their back pocket, will most likely, well, they may go for it, Michael. They may try to close the show right here.
Yeah, their offensive football team is standing by the line of scrimmage, although head coach Jay Sawville is standing with the side judge, maybe to let him know when he wants that timeout. Play clock, 3, 2, 1. Yep, there it is. 1 second left in the play clock. 2:06 left in the football game. He got the timeout. I would think punt team coming on now, Ryan Cavanaugh.
Yeah, I think you have to play it safe, but you never know. But you would assume they punt this football away, and you tell your defense they've got to score a touchdown and a field goal in 2 minutes. Don't let them do it.
So again, Jay Sawville, that head coach right there, played his college football for the Mount Union Purple Raiders, the Division III powerhouse here. He was a very sure tackling linebacker under their outstanding, legendary Mount Union head coach Larry Karras. Decided to go into the coaching profession himself, and he told us that Larry Karras was a huge factor in him making that decision, which is not a surprise. Well, they are going to punt the football away. Akron came after it. It's going to go in the end zone. A minute and 58 seconds left. This will serve as the 2-minute timeout. We'll take our final timeout of the night. Looking good for the Wyoming Cowboys on the road here in Northeast Ohio with their 10-0 lead. Rain coming down once again here in InfoCision Stadium. What do we have coming up on Saturday on ESPN Plus that involves Mid-American Conference programs? Kent State right down the road will host Merrimack. Holy Cross will head into DeKalb, Illinois to see Thomas Hammock and the Huskies. And UMass, the Minutemen, will host Temple. All of that on Saturday on ESPN Plus. Check down time for quarterback Ben Finley. Finley threw that quick out and was able to connect with Kyan Mason, the redshirt freshman. Got 5, 2nd and 5. No timeouts left for Akron as that throw is incomplete. So, Ryan, it's looking more and more like, as the rain comes down, like this season opener here in 2025 is going to be a success for the Mountain West Conference's Wyoming Cowboys, and the Akron Zips are going to have to circle the wagon before they go to Lincoln, Nebraska 9 days from now.
Well, both these teams came in with a lot of promise. It was Coach Jay Sawville's second year with a lot of pieces to build upon from last year. Expectations were high, and of course for Coach Joe Moorhead, coming off of a win over Kent State in the wagon wheel game, which means so much to both those programs, and an overtime win against Toledo.
Huge win.
Who, some thought was the best team in the MAC.
Right. Finley's in a lot of trouble and throws the football away. So we'll see, and Joe Moorhead is going to have that opportunity. So he's got an extra day, if you will. As we said, next game 9 days from now, although they'll travel to Lincoln, Nebraska. Back-to-back road games now, and then they go down to the state of Alabama to get the Blazers of UAB before they come back home here to play Duquesne from the FCS. Finley on 2nd down. Checked it down again, and that pass is incomplete. As on a knee when he made that grab, evidently. Was intended for Jean-Louis III. So, just Ryan, not the kind of night that Joe Moorhead and Akron was looking for.
Well, there's always an element of uncertainty coming into week one. The first time you play another team, and certainly some things for Coach and his squad to work on.
3rd down and 10, they came underneath. Did Ben Finley. Hooked up with Miles Walker. 4th down now. Zips got to go in a hurry as we're down to 50 seconds left.
And certainly one player doesn't make an offense, but losing Sean Patrick and the very obvious offensive production he brought in the first half did not help the Akron Zips in the second half.
Finley made a tough throw under pressure, found Tim Greer Jr., who caught it for a 1st down. Clock stops to move the sticks. Now it starts as we're down to 30 seconds left right now. Finley, deep out. It was caught, or was it inbounds? They're saying no, it was incomplete. Greer had it originally on his hands and wasn't able to haul it in. Not a bad throw, though, from Ben Finley on that deep out to the outside the numbers on the far side.
Well, this is what I call an umbrella defense, especially from this vantage point. It's a 3-3 and 5 around, and they're not giving Finley any space downfield. So, considering that, it was a really nice pass.
Finley's going to step up and keep the football now. He'll slide and a couple yards short of the 1st down, and that might be the final snap. Let's see. Akron trying to get back, get lined up quickly. 5 seconds left. I don't know if they're going to get it off. Nope. That's going to do it. Time has expired. The Wyoming Cowboys have come into Infocision Stadium as the rain comes down harder here as this one ends. It's Wyoming, Ryan Cavanaugh, coming on the road and winning their season opener. A 10-0 verdict over the Akron Zips.
And it was a great effort. Look, you see the stat, first shutout since September 19th, 2017. I thought the defense of Wyoming was very, very impressive. Their defensive front, their linebackers, and the way they flew to the football. This is a very well-coached football team. And they amounted for 435 yards of total offense. So I'm sure they wanted to finish some of those drives, and that's a coaching point and something for Wyoming to work on. But anytime you come out with a win in week 1, you're going to take it. 260 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Caden Anderson.
University of Northern Iowa and then Utah. Those are the next 2 for the Wyoming Cowboys as they have come away with this victory here tonight. It's a 10-0 decision over the Akron Zips. We thank everybody tonight who was so vital in assisting us. Our producer Adam Meyer, our director Mike Bacon, all of our terrific crew. That's going to do it for us. For my partner Ryan Cavanaugh, I'm Michael Regai. We say so long from Infocision Stadium in Akron, Ohio. The Wyoming Cowboys have registered a 10-0 season opening win over Akron. All games that air on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night, everybody.